Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome. My name is Robin Wansley, and I am the chair of the Administration and Enterprise Oversight Committee. And I am going to call to order our regular scheduled meeting for today, September 15th, 2025. But before we begin the meeting, I do want to offer a friendly reminder to all committee members, staff, and the public that these meetings are broadcast live to enable greater public participation. These broadcasts include real-time captioning as a further method to increase the accessibility of our proceedings to the community. Therefore, all speakers need to be mindful of the rate of their speech so that our captioners can fully capture and transcribe all comments for the broadcast. We ask that all speakers moderate the speed and clarity of their comments. And with that, I will ask the clerk to call the roll.
Councilmember Payne.
Present.
Vita.
Present.
Cashman.
Present.
Chugtai.
Present.
Vice Chair Palmisano.
Present.
Chair Wansley.
Present.
That is 6 members present.
Let the record reflect that we do have a quorum. I'll also remind my colleagues that we'll be using speaker management today, so please make sure to sign in. And if you're experiencing any troubles with that, find one of the clerks and they will assist you. That said, we have 26 items on our consent agenda, which I'll now read for the public record. The first is a gift acceptance from Metropolitan Washington Council of Governments for transportation and lodging expenses. 2 is a gift acceptance from the Millennium Alliance for Travel and Lodging. 3 is a gift acceptance from the Policing Lab to pay for travel, lodging, and registration. 4 is a gift acceptance from the FBI National Academy Associates for airfare. 5 is a gift acceptance from International Association of Chiefs of Police for travel and lodging expenses. 6 is a gift acceptance from Law Enforcement and Emergency Services Video Association for registration, lodging, and transportation expenses. 7 is a gift acceptance from the Association of Minnesota Emergency Managers for lodging and meals. 8 is a gift acceptance from the Lincoln Institute of Land Policy for travel and lodging expenses. 9 is a 2025 bid for a hydraulic pump, motor, and cylinder repair and parts. 10 is a bid for Minneapolis Convention Center Mill City Pizzeria construction project. 11 is contracts with various vendors for the 2025 through 2028 violence prevention services for Neighborhood Safety Department. In total, the amount not to exceed $8,870,000. And then number 12 is contracts with various vendors for financial wellness, home buyer, education, and foreclosure counseling services. 13 is a contract with National Captioning, Inc. for real-time video captioning services. 14 is contract with Minnesota IT Services for cybersecurity program. 15 is a contract amendment with Neptune and Company, Inc. for water toxicity monitoring system. 16 is a contract amendment with Aloha Landscaping, Inc. for yard maintenance services. 17 is a contract amendment with Asset Works, Inc. for additional professional services for the fleet and fuel management software. 18 is a contract amendment with DRI Consulting for management assessments and related services. 19 is a contract amendments for housing opportunities for persons with HIV or AIDS. 21 is a contract amendment with Axon Enterprise, Inc. for additional equipment and software for the Regulatory Services Department. 22 is a legal settlement, Mason Herman v. City of Minneapolis. 23 is a legal settlement, workers' compensation claim of Robert Mercado. 24 is a legal settlement, workers' compensation claim of Andrew Rayer. 25 is Minneapolis Advisory Committee on Aging appointments. And 26 is a parking management staff directive. With that, I will see if anyone is in queue to speak to an item. I see Councilmember Cashman.
Thank you, Chair. I had a quick question on 1121 and wanted to
also take 26 up with the discussion item on ABM.
So I'm sorry, can you repeat the first two?
11 and 21.
11 and 21, we can move for a separate discussion. I will let you know as chair that we did put this on consent because this is separate from the ABM parking rep in terms of an item. But are you looking to still move it as a separate item for discussion?
I just wanted to say a few words about it.
Okay, so we can move that for a separate discussion. It will still be taken up under the consent agenda, but that gives space to make comments. So that would be item 26. So consent agenda minus 11, 21, 26. I was also going to I did put myself in queue. I'm also asking item 17 for a separate discussion. So in total, for the clerks, we will have the consent agenda minus 11, 17, 21, and 26. Oh, and sorry. Also separately, 23 and 24. Okay, so all those in favor of the consent items minus 11, 17, 23, 24, and 26. Oh, sorry, and 21. Say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? There's no nays. All right, those items carry. So we will take up the additional items in the order that they are in. So starting with 11, and I believe that's Councilmember Cashman.
Yes, thank you, Chair Wansley. This is a series of many contracts with various vendors for 2025 to 2028 violence prevention services for the Neighborhood Safety Department. And in total is not to exceed 8.87 million. So just in general, I'm so happy to see this vendor pool expanded. And just one question there for Director Harrington on this is the extent to which these contracts can be published. I ask because this work has been under such scrutiny in the last few years, and I think transparency is our best tool to inform communities about what these orgs do and what they don't do and what they can expect in their neighborhoods. So for example, I'm very excited that Somali Youth Link is coming to Stevens Square. Thank you for that. And would like to be able to share with the neighborhood organization the contract. And I'm wondering if these contracts can be published to LIMS or just requested on a piecemeal basis.
Good afternoon, Council.
Afternoon, Director Harrington.
Chair Wansley, Councilmember Cashman. The contracts can be public once they're executed. Most of them are not fully executed yet. Mm-hmm. However, I don't believe that that gives the full context that you or the community is interested in. Because this is a pool or a master contract, there's no guarantee that all of these contractors will be given contracts or work orders for service. And so the piece that I think people are particularly interested in is the work orders that we will be issuing on a case-by-case basis. So in the circumstance that you're talking about with Somali Youth Link, they do have an executed contract, and they also have 2 work orders. That is done, signed, they are ready to go, and that can absolutely be shared with the community. I would be hesitant to fully put forward every single one of these contracts because it may be misconstrued by community that these contractors will absolutely for sure be working in their community, and I don't want anybody to have any misunderstanding.
Okay, thanks. So the 2 work orders for Somali Youth Link, could you share those with me by email?
Yes.
Thank you. That's all the questions I had, so I'll move this item for approval.
Okay, that item has been moved for approval. Do I have a second? Right, it's been seconded, so let's do a simple voice vote. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those not in favor, all right, so the ayes have it. Next, we have item 17, which sorry, I'm taking a moment to scroll down. I removed or moved that for a separate discussion. There was a brief exchange with staff regarding a question we received by a resident regarding this contract. So I will ask if Public Works staff could come forward and just provide clarity in regards to, is this a separate contract from what's listed in the capital budget program, or how it overlaps with the capital budget funding line for Public Works? So, yeah, if you could offer that clarity.
Sure, Chair Wansley. The excuse me, the fleet management system, AssetWorks is part of the fleet management system is AssetWorks system. Excuse me. Underneath that, we have different modules that are used to customize the system. So we utilize Fluid Focus and Fuel Management System. Those are ongoing systems that we currently use, and for obvious reasons, they're part of our operational budget. The question, I believe, goes to the new I'm sorry, I'm losing my train of
AssetWorks
thought.
contract?
Right.
Yes.
So the question goes to the new motor pool system that AssetWorks offers. Initially, we were going out to investigate a motor pool program that we could utilize that would better make the systems, the fleet more efficient within the city. And we were looking at AssetWorks modules that we currently use right now. And we decided that that wasn't going to be the best way to go. But naturally, from a budgetary standpoint, because it was going to be a new system, that it would be from capital dollars, if that makes any sense. So I think the confusion lies because we currently utilize the AssetWorks system, and it's more of an operating system, and people conflate the operating system with the different modules that we utilize. And so the modules that we currently utilize, they would be operational dollars. Any module that we may be adding to it initially would be from a capital dollar standpoint.
Excuse me, can I have you state your name for the record too, please?
My apologies. Christopher Royston, Director of Fleet Service Division.
Okay. Thank you, Director, for that clarification. Just on record, and thank you for following up with the constituent over email. I think that answers the question that was raised and any that I will have. So with that, I will motion this item for approval.
Second.
All right, that's been seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, the ayes have it. And next, we will take up item 21. And I believe that one was also motioned or moved for discussion by Councilmember Cashman.
Yes, thank you, Chair. This is an amendment with the contract for additional equipment and software for reg services, including body-worn cameras. So it was just a question of which reg services staff use body-worn cameras in community. And CVP Chugtai has answered for me as traffic control agents. That's the only question that I had here.
Okay, you like to, motion that for approval?
Yes.
All right, that, I will second that. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, the ayes have it. And also, clerks, I will take items 23 and 24 together, and if we can just call the roll on those.
Councilmember Payne.
Aye.
Vita.
Aye.
Cashman.
Aye.
Chugtai.
Nay.
Vice Chair Palmisano.
Aye.
Chair Wansley.
Nay.
There are 4 yeas and 2 nays.
Right, that item carries. Next, we will take up item 26, which also I believe Councilmember Cashman and Vice Chair Palmisano both authored.
Thank you, Chair. This staff directive is a follow-up from the contract with ABM for management services of the parking system. So the goal of this staff directive is to ensure we're getting value out of the large amount we spend on this off-street parking management, looking nationally for additional strategies we can take to maximize revenues, minimize costs, and ensure a high level of service. So the staff direction asks for practices of comparable municipalities nationally with a specific emphasis on changes that have been made in response to changing commuting patterns since COVID. It asks for analysis of specific issues we've discussed on this contract, like security and traffic management practices and costs, including which personnel provide these services and most effectively and most cost effectively, and which services tend to be provided by either the municipality or a contracted vendor, and asks for a review of the available research on the future of off-street parking demand in U.S. metropolitan areas and proactive steps that we can take to plan for the 5-10-year forecast on our parking management system. So I'll move this staff directive for approval.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right, so that motion has been a motion for approval and seconded. So I will just do a simple voice vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those not, all right, the ayes have it. And then moving on to the discussion item that we have, which is related to professional management services for the municipal parking system. This is item 27, which is a contract with ABM Industry Groups, LLC, parking services for, again, professional management services for municipal parking systems. Many of my colleagues are aware that this came up during our conversations in full council and then referred back here to AO for further conversation. And I did put myself in queue as someone who did have initial concerns about the contract as it stands. And I do want to thank Public Works staff for providing my office with the full contract to review. I also would like to thank them, particularly Alan Kluman, for meeting with my office just last Friday to provide a deeper look into the contract and answer follow-up questions. That conversation was extremely helpful, and I do feel comfortable moving this contract forward. But just for public transparency, I do want to relay some of the takeaways that came from that conversation on last week. So first, it was reaffirming to hear that since it's a reimbursable contract, that there is still the ability to address operational concerns that I raised, particularly related to off-duty work. And I appreciate that Public Works has approached this aspect of the contract in good faith, but it did come forward from this conversation around there's still not the best internal process for departments to be able to relay public safety concerns when they're looking to contract with vendors who are regularly contracting off-duty work. So we do need to formalize that internal process a lot more better. And that said, I still feel confident that a buyback program would be the best way to incorporate sworn officers into the public safety needs that city-owned ramps may have. And that does allow for a full transparent process to move through and allows the city to fully understand the landscape of officers working on duty or off-duty downtown, but in the case with a buyback, they would be working on duty, and we could have more of that comprehensive and high-level understanding of how our public safety personnel is being delegated across the city. That said, I also learned during this meeting that will require an operational change, and while this contract doesn't prohibit the use of a buyback from happening, again, it would need to come from the executive administration to make that operational change. But that said, I will be bringing forward a resolution of support for a buyback to be used in this contract since it's not prohibited to full council next week for council to consider. And that could be our way of stating our support for the inclusion of that program within this contract. In addition to the legislative directive that was just brought forward and passed, I don't see any reason why we can't receive regular updates on this particular contract, especially next year as reimbursements come through, so that council can have a fuller understanding of operational decisions that have been made or have not been made related to off-duty work that might address some of the financial concerns that I raised and the efficient use of public safety resources that also I've noted. So with that, I would motion approval for this contract to advance. Can I have a second? All right, that motion has been seconded. And I see before we take up that motion, Councilmember Cashman in queue.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and I'm glad that you'll be bringing a resolution. I think it's good to consider also where traffic control can meet the need on duty, again, because we have more oversight over our on-duty workers, and as well as advocacy to finance and property services to really try to bring the general fund transfer up in the years to come for budgetary reasons. And I know that's beyond the scope of Public Works, but I thought it was worth mentioning that it's important that we, our parking capacity is back up about 70% as what it dropped to. And so I think we should be really trying to get our general fund transfer of that revenue back up as well. And so I appreciate the transparency that Public Works has brought on this contract. I do hope that council can get a little more advance notice in the future, but I'm glad that we'll still be in time to execute this contract, and I'll support moving this forward. Thank you.
All right. There's nobody else in queue. So with that, all those in favor of moving this contract to full council say aye.
Aye.
All right. Any nays? The ayes have it, and that motion carries. All right, committee members. Looks like we've concluded all the business that have come before us today. So if there's no objections, which I'm sure there won't be any, we are adjourned.